Yo, what up fellas? Welcome back to the first video of the year. Happy 2020. Hope y'all enjoy the holidays. Yes, it's the new year. It's that time where people like to set goals and try and change something that made 2019 not so good. And today, I want to help you guys with that and with looking fly. So that is why I'm going to talk to you guys about the do's and don'ts of 2020 men's fashion. So starting number one, this is a do, and something a lot of people even outside of fashion set for the new year, and that is to get in better shape, work out. I'm sure you guys already know Rick Owens' take on this, but if you guys don't, here's what he said. Working out is modern couture. No outfit is going to make you look or feel as good as having a fit body. Buy less clothing and go to the gym instead. And I 100% most certainly agree with this. Now, I'm not no Christian Guzman hopping on stage, posing in front of judges and all that. That's a whole nother level of shreddedness. But I do lift and work out a little bit, and I'd say I'm a little, I'm above average shape. And let me tell you, whenever you start working out and getting in better shape, your fashion spectrum expands. You've got a lot of more options to work with. The Rick Owens aesthetic obviously is tailored to those that are in better shape. You could also still rock oversized pieces if you're not insecure and need to show off your physique 24/7 365 like I was. And yes, of course, fitted clothes look amazing on you. Pretty much any aesthetic is going to suit a more fit, above average shape person. You don't need to be crazy shredded or all that. You don't need to be no bodybuilder. But personally, this is just my opinion. I feel people like to hate on fitted clothes because it doesn't really suit their body type right now. Now, I like to agree that the fashion starter pack in the menswear industry is a fitted tee, skinny denim, and white sneakers. I mean, it's easy to poke fun at, but it is true that the starter outfit will suit a more athletic type of body versus someone who is out of shape. But yeah, like I said before, you don't have to get show stage ready. By adding a little bit of muscle mass, shrinking some body fat will most certainly help with your outfits. You get a better jawline and all that. So start hitting them weights. It's going to expand your fashion spectrum. You'll be able to rock a ton of aesthetics at that point and not be tied down to a few aesthetics just because you feel like you're out of shape. So next up, 2020 is a year that you don't follow trends. Now, this is easier said than done. But Johnny, you're just following trends. You're wearing oversized clothes and blah, 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 blah. Shut up, man. But you're right, I was. However, there is a difference from following trends for the sake of following trends versus trying it out and seeing if you like it. Because man, for the past few years, kids were just following trends and that was their style. Following trends. There wasn't an aesthetic that represented a lot of those kids back then. And that's what I'm not really feeling. Because after this video, go to the mall, go to H&M, look at every guy. Every guy looks the same that walks into H&M. We've gone to that point where people lack personal style and instead hit up these fast fashion stores so they always stay in trend and look cool. I mean, what happened to wearing what you want and adding your own taste to it? That I believe was lacking in the recent years, but for 2020, hopefully that changes. Even Virgil Abloh said it himself. Now, I disagree with the part where he says streetwear is gonna die, and that's what a bunch of blogs and articles talked about. But there's a second part to that statement, and he said there are so many clothes that are cool that are in vintage shops, and it's just about wearing them. I think that fashion is gonna go away from buying a box fresh something. It'll be like, hey, I'm gonna go into my archive. And I 100% agree with going back to your archive instead of buying that next new shiny item. And that's what a lot of fast fashion stores are. New shiny items. Drop the fast fashion. Quit going to H&M. Buy vintage items that actually look good on you. And sure, you can try on current trends to see if it actually suits you. And the most important part, go back to wearing what you like. I talked about this in another video, but it's worth reiterating again. And this goes all the way back to defining your interests. For me, my interests are dystopian vibes, Star Wars, Cyberpunk 2077, that type of vibe. And overall character design has been an obsession of mine for the longest I can remember, but the most distinctive game I can remember is probably Force Unleashed 1, where you can customize Starkiller. That aesthetic really interests me, and that's why I've been diving more into, tech wear. Also, Breaking Bad is my favorite show of all time, and the Breaking Bad store just opened here in Albuquerque, and that is why I have a few pieces from there. Everyone's got their own specific interest, and when you define that, it really gets engraved into your own personal style, and that, my friend, is how you are going to stand out with your own personal style and not look like your typical 14-year-old trend follower. So, bouncing off the last topic, this one is a do, and that is buy less clothes but higher quality clothes. Now, the term high quality is definitely an overused term in the fashion industry and on YouTube and all that, but you guys are gonna know if something's made of quality or not. Feel the tumbled leather of that sneaker. Feel the density of the fabric. Stretch it out, see if it bounces back. Because nowadays, fast fashion is hella cheap, and for good reason. Its quality is that of, the Star Wars sequel trilogy. A mixed bag, but mostly terrible. You're gonna find some good pieces here and there, like let's say H&M, that are made pretty well. These pieces are like your Force Awakens. Then you're gonna find some pieces that are just absolute shit, and that's like The Last Jedi. And then you're gonna find some decent, okay pieces, you know, Rise of Skywalker. Because when you pay more for an item, for the most part, you're gonna get higher quality. Higher quality means it lasts longer. If it lasts longer, you get to wear it more. And when you get to wear it more, the dollar to wear ratio will equal that to an H&M piece or even better. Now check out this All Saints hoodie I got 2 years ago. $95 for it. It was really hard for me to justify that price. But I've probably worn it more than 100 times. I've washed it a ton of times as well. And it still feels like I just purchased it from All Saints. Take a piece from Forever 21 or so. Those items typically shrink after one wash. So you probably only get a few wears out of it. All Saints hoodie was, let's just say $100 after taxes. I've worn it 100 times. That makes it $1 a wear. Now, let's just say a Forever 21 hoodie, I paid $25 for it and can only wear it once or twice. That's like $25 a wear or $12.50 a wear, depending on if I washed it or not. That's really the biggest factor with justifying huge purchases. I mean, check this jacket over here from 511. This jacket I got with my own money, $250 for a jacket. It's a little bit hard to justify for me because I'm not that rich, I'm kind of poor. So please watch all the ads. But I know this is made of higher quality. There's a lot of functionality to this piece. It's weatherproof, waterproof, and I know it's gonna last me a ton of years later down the road. So eventually I can get this down to $1 a wear if I wear it over 250 times. But yeah, there's a lot of pieces that just fall apart over time. I don't think this will. So if you're gonna buy higher quality, I definitely suggest more versatile items. Like that jacket over there, and just skip fast fashion as a whole. And even if you're still hesitant to skip all the fast fashion, stick with Uniqlo. Uniqlo is a well-respected brand because the bang for the buck, the price for the quality is unmatched. And also vintage items from the 90s have been back for a while now, and for good reason. Clearly, they are made well if you can rock it 30 years later. So yeah guys, 2020 is a year you buy less, but you pay more for higher quality. So this next one is a don't, and that is don't stick to one style. Experiment. Over the years, menswear was huge in the early 2010s. Streetwear came through around 2015. Even though it's been around for a long time, I'm just saying it was just getting more mainstream around 2015. It's been a good wave for men's fashion, streetwear, menswear, but I feel like people are getting way too comfortable right now. And I get it, you like a certain aesthetic, who doesn't? But part of a mature style is experimenting with other styles. Just like part of being a mature human is experimenting a lot of life. Whoa, we're getting a little deep there, Johnny. I mean, I used to be that guy that would just bash on logos. Then I would bash on menswear and how plain it was to me, blah, 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 blah. I was closed-minded for years with this hobby. That's a little like bashing on every single city except your hometown without ever leaving your hometown. And that's just what I'm saying. Try some new aesthetics out. Move to another city. Experiment life. I've really been experimenting with tech wear, and trust me, I'm gonna make videos on it eventually. I just want to get a little more experience with it. But there's so many aspects to all types of aesthetics that I never really knew, and I'm glad I do now. I've even gone back to experimenting with menswear, and now I feel comfortable rocking both streetwear, menswear, and even tech wear. And here's what happens. You see what you like, you see what you don't like. You try on this accessory here, this accessory there. Maybe you go back to trying on a leather jacket or a nice functional parka, and you might end up liking it. That right there is what you call refining your style, maturing your style, not just throwing on a suit and tie and calling it a mature style. So the last one is another do for 2020, and that is to have your own opinions about fashion. See, as you mature and start to refine your style, you're gonna start to have a certain taste for all the new drops, collections that are releasing. Instead of hopping on the hype train, you decide whether you put the fire emojis or the vomit emojis when Complex posts a new picture of that next drop. It's okay to not like certain items that people love, and it's okay to love something that a lot of people hate. For myself, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the Travis Scott Jordan 1s. And that's cool. Fashion is subjective. If you like something because a ton of people like it, well, you're basically just me when I started this channel. I was inspired by Richie Lee and Jose Zuniga, and my content was bland and boring. I would copy off them, and it would just be recycled, boring content. It lacked originality. It lacked my opinions and tastes about men's fashion. And that's unfortunately a lot of guys today, following every style guru to the T, everything they say. Even me, I hope you disagree with a few of my points. Now, if you love all my points, that's awesome, man. But I'm glad if you have your own opinions about it, because that just means you have your own fashion taste, and that means you have a more mature style than your average person just following what everyone says. Read articles on the history of certain items or aesthetics. It's something I personally like doing. Follow fashion pages, follow brands, follow the people that model for those brands, because having a better understanding of men's fashion means you have a better outlook, and therefore your own taste. Alright fellas, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys aren't into fashion, this probably isn't relevant to you, and you probably love shopping at H&M, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are watching this channel, you probably do care about fashion, and 2020 is the year you switch it up, you start to try new things, experiment new things, and mature your style. But yeah, this is the first video of the year. I had to take some time off because I just needed time to relax and just, you know, I feel like I was getting burnt out, but I'm glad I'm back. It's a new year. Thank you guys for following my journey. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps my channel out. Follow me on Instagram at FlyWithJohnnyTy. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below on your guys' 2020 do's and don'ts. There's a community, you know, we all try to help each other out. So I actually do want to know what your guys' opinions are. And until then, stay fly, stay animosity free. I'm out, bro. Peace.